Well, Game of Thrones final season ended May 19th, 2019. Game of Thrones is no more. Sure, we'll be getting prequel shows, probably a bunch of those, maybe a sequel show. I hope not. But this is it. Game of Thrones has ended. It aired in 2011 and ended in 2019. And it's no surprise. The final season of Game of Thrones is divisive, and it will go down as one of the most divisive, for some, disappointing shows. Well, not disappointing, disappointing seasons of all time. Me personally, where do I stand? We'll get to that in a second. Let me first just say this. I'm a big fan of Game of Thrones. It's no secret. I have a lot of videos in regards to Game of Thrones on this channel. Planning to do more, don't worry. I'm planning to do a ranking video of Game of Thrones each season, and also probably Game of Thrones, the series as a whole. That being said, this review, you clicked on it probably because, you know, it's the 8th season. That's what the review's for. My other reviews for pretty much any show I've done on this channel, there's been no spoilers. But I'm not going to lie, I'm going to say it up front. There might be some spoilers in this review. So if you haven't seen the 8th season of Game of Thrones, firstly, why did you click on a final season of a show review? Secondly, stop watching this review if you haven't seen Game of Thrones. That being said, let's get into it. Firstly, I just want to throw out the obvious things that many people don't seem to be talking about. This show is incredible at just spectacle level. The amount of visual effects in this TV show is incredibly meticulously well realized. You have practical effects and CGI effects seamlessly well woven into the show. You have a score by my boy Rainman that is incredible, specifically episode 3 and episode 6. Specifically the Night King track in episode 3, incredible. The production design is top notch. It's, again, one of the best looking dramas on television right now. People talk about The Crown, including myself, in terms of costume design and production design, but Game of Thrones is really probably the best at that, and I wouldn't be surprised if it picked up some more Emmys in regards to it. The acting also doesn't get enough talking about. I mean, you have Emilia Clarke as Daenerys Targaryen. Her acting in this 8th season is incredible. Jon Snow, I know he's not given that much, but Kit Harington does a great job with him continuously. Peter Dinklage, this show doesn't deserve him, but he's incredible as well. The actor who plays Varys, I forget his name, but I'm just throwing it out there. He was incredible. I wish Lena Headey had more. I feel like I'm a big fan of Cersei Lannister. It's no secret for those of you that's close to me. I love Cersei Lannister. I find her character to be fascinating, and I wish that she was given more in this season, but that being said, all that stuff is a given. Many people just don't even talk about it. They just talk about how this is a disappointing season. But you know something? This show, if you want to look at it from a technical aspect, it's incredible. If you want to talk about it from a story, pacing aspect, there are some criticisms from people. And here's the thing. Little backstory. Season 7, I personally was conflicted about it. Did I like it? Yes. Did I have problems with it? Absolutely. I was one of the first people, I would say, that were vocal about it, too. It had a lot of problems. It did feel rushed. There was also a lot of time jumps. I mean, and time jumps are good, but like when you have a character like Gendry run from the wall faster than Amazon Prime shipping, there's a problem. There's a problem to be had with that. And the writers came out and said it shortly before the 8th season aired, and many people were like, okay, so season 8 won't be rushed. I took it as they're trying to cover themselves. They are trying to cover themselves. And so that's why immediately season 8 going into it, I was like, it's not going to feel rushed. I mean, my mistake. It will feel rushed. But I was also conflicted when I said it's not going to feel rushed because the first episode, it took its time. For crying out loud, you had a scene where Jon and Dany are playing How to Train Your Dragon on dragons. So I was like, okay, maybe that wasn't them covering themselves. Maybe they genuinely are taking their time. And then episode 3 happened. And after that, it was like, okay, maybe they were trying to cover themselves. But I understood. And I kind of went into it expecting it, like I was saying. So that's why I didn't really take fault into that. Can I defend it? Some of it? Yeah, sure. You have 6 episodes, and I know people's argument's going to be, oh, well, HBO would have given them more episodes and more time. But at the same time, I get why they did it in 6 episodes. I can see it. I really can. I have no problem with that because, again, I already knew going into it, and I can defend some of it too. A lot of people also have criticisms with Daenerys, how they dealt with her character, as well as Cersei, Jaime, and all that. I was fine with it, honestly. Personally, I loved Jaime and Cersei's character arc, because at the same time, you have all these theories floating around, like, oh, Arya is going to kill Cersei, or oh, Tyrion, or oh, Jaime. And it's like, for the fact that none of that happened, I was like, thank God, because you had so much fan service in season 7 that, like Littlefinger's death, which felt like it had been done 1,000 times in other movies and shows, to have two characters' deaths where it wasn't expected. Like, nobody was thinking, you know what, Cersei and Jaime, they're going to die by rubble. So I was like, I like that. I like that a lot. But I know a lot of people don't agree with that. How they handled Daenerys as well. I know a lot of people were frustrated by that. But, and I know some people are going to immediately say, well, because I'm going to say, it's been foreshadowed since season 1. Literally the first couple of episodes. I know people are going to be like, well, foreshadowing isn't character development. No, it helps though. By golly, it does help. It's not fully 100% character development, but by golly, it does help. The other 50% of the character development is they were literally spoon-feeding the audience about Daenerys going mad the last couple seasons. And I said it. Literally rewatching the show from season 1, rewatching with my girlfriend a couple months ago, I was like, Daenerys is not stable. Like, there's something about her. So that's why literally episode 5, when she started burning King's Landing, I was like, here we go. Everyone can now see what I was saying. And then, of course, I go on the internet and I'm like, oh, well, okay, people don't see what I see. Okay, well, screw me then, right? And I just wanted to walk away. But essentially what I'm trying to say is, I get why people don't like these character arcs, like with all these characters. I get it. But at the same time, I liked them. There wasn't really any character arcs. Maybe Bran, which I'll get into. I know I give LC Screen Talk a lot of shout-outs, but I'm going to do it again. Him and I, we talked about, my boy Larry, we talked about Bran the Broken because it was leaked online. And we both agreed that it would be kind of like, huh? But I also did say to him that I feel like if they went about it the right way, maybe it would work. And I feel like the way they went about it, it was kind of like a screw you to like everyone. And I liked that because people are like, oh, well, he said he couldn't be the ruler of Winterfell. And it's like, yes, that is true because he knew he was going to be the ruler of the Seven Kingdoms. And it's like, wow, Bran's a jerk. And it's like, yeah, he is, but then again, nobody liked him, so it's kind of fitting. And also, it makes 100% sense with the fact that he gave Arya the dagger. Just foreshadowing like that and just character development like that. I liked it, and it was like, wow, we're going to be able to watch this show a lot differently. Literally from the first episode when Jaime throws him out the window, it's like, oh, wow. So Jaime almost was like 2 for 2 with King's Slayers. So I liked it. Like, again, I feel conflicted though, because I don't want to lie to you and say that this show is perfect with this 8th season. It's not. I have problems with it. I do. But I'm also so conflicted about it because with the problems, it's not like it ruins it for me. If anything, I just feel conflicted because I can see both sides. I'm positive about the 8th season. I am. I liked it. I'm not going to throw it out there and say I hated it because I'd be lying. Do I have some criticism of some of the episodes? Yes. I think the first episode, there's stuff I liked, but there's stuff I didn't like. Episode 2, it's a filler episode, 100%, but it's a good bottle episode. Episode 3, I think is great. I think it's fantastic. It took me a while to actually warm up to the fact that Arya killed the Night King, essentially Avengers Phantom Menace style, but I was able to kind of live with it because I knew that essentially what the show's trying to say is that's not the real enemy. The real enemy is in the South with Cersei, Qyburn, and all of them. I liked episode 4. I know a lot of people that have criticisms with it, but I liked it. Honestly, when that episode ended, I was like, this is the Game of Thrones of old. And then I went on the internet and I was like, oh, okay. Episode 5, I love. I think The Bells is an incredible episode. 3 and 5 are my favorite episodes of season 8. I think The Bells is, holy cow. It's a lot. Not only is it a spectacle, but like, it does a lot with the characters where it's just like, wow, some of it's hard to watch. Also, Clegane Bowl's in it, and that's incredible. But man, episode 5 I loved. Episode 6, the finale. Again, I feel conflicted because some of it I liked. I liked what they did with Jon. It's very heartbreaking. I felt like that episode was very heartbreaking. I know a lot of people are saying how positive it was, but yeah, Jon gets sent to the wall, and he's always liked the wall, but it's different. Season 1, he had a choice. He chose to go to the wall. Season 8, he had no choice but to go to the wall. To me, that's tragic. When a character has to do something because they have no choice, that's tragic for me, I think. Arya, I was fine with her arc. It was fitting. Yeah, it was kind of like her being a pirate almost, but it was fitting considering She's always been about traveling the world. Sansa, I was very happy to see that with. It's no secret I like Sansa Stark on the show. She's always that person that says what everyone else is thinking, even if people's blindness to liking characters. Like, Sansa literally called out about Daenerys and Jon. And many people, including people that are close to me, didn't like that. But I was like, she's telling the truth. And at the end of the show, it turned out to be true. She called out about Daenerys not trusting Daenerys. Turned out to be true. She called out Jon about, falling for her and bending the knee for that reason, for love, instead of, obviously helping the North. And all that felt fitting. It made sense. And that's why I was happy with Sansa being on, an independent rule in the North. Made sense to me. Brown the Broken, again, I was hit or miss with that. I felt like it was a good screw you to everyone, which I am happy about. In terms of a character/story perspective, it worked. I mean, I do feel like I need to watch the show again before fully stating, yes, it made sense. But the fact that it was a screw you moment, I liked it. I really did. But again, I feel conflicted because, and I've already mentioned it, I do kind of agree about some of it being rushed. I do think that some of the early episodes in this season were hit or miss. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I know that this isn't really a coherent review, and I'm not lying. Like, I know it's not, but that's because right now I'm just releasing all my thoughts to you as the viewer. I'm just releasing it. I liked a lot about this season, but I can also see where people are coming about in terms of negatives. Is this going to go down as the best season of Game of Thrones? No, by no means. In fact, a lot of people probably have ranked it as their least favorite. I don't know. But at the same time, for me personally, I liked it. I see where everyone's coming from, as I mentioned many times before in this review already. But at the end of the day, I can't hate on this. I really can't. And that's why, for me personally, I'll be giving Game of Thrones Season 8 4.5 and a 5-star rating, which, for those like a hot sauce rating, gives the good old Tabasco rating. I accepted this 8th season for what it was. It was a spectacle. It was a visually enthralling final season. Was it the cathartic and emotional resonant show that I remember? No, but shows do change, and Game of Thrones was no different. Did it change for the better or for the worse? That's up to you as the audience member to decide. For me personally, I liked it. It's not my favorite again, but at the end of the day, I liked it. And, if I were to take a shot every time I said I like it or, feeling conflicted, I'd be dead. But that being said, guys, Game of Thrones Season 8, what are your thoughts on this season? I'm expecting a lot of negative comments, which I can respect that because, again, it's the internet. But if you have anything nice to say as well, please leave it in the comment section down below. I am very curious to hear your guys' thoughts. I'll go more in depth with in the comment section down below. I just wanted to get this review out there, honestly. If I'm being 100% honest, I just wanted to get my thoughts out there with how conflicted I am. So that way, especially, I can look back in time and say, oh, wow, I was still conflicted back then when I first saw it to then versus years later. So, guys, Game of Thrones Season 8, again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm not going to say where do your seasons, like where do you rank each season, because, again, I am planning to do a ranking video of this show, so stay tuned for that. And, guys, as always, thank you very, very much for watching. Don't forget the subscription, notification bell, and I'll catch you guys later.